And welcome back to What's Going On. And we're sitting here with my esteemed guest, Mr. Joel Ruiters, and my hostess of the mostest, Mr. Dury. Welcome, guys, and we're having this amazing conversation. As you know, concerned citizens of South Africa over here.
Hey, give me that party's name.
What?
Who's party? Citizens, I don't know.
Okay, consensus is really, I'm not too sure. But guys, stick around, lots to unpack. Make sure you give us your thoughts. Write on your comment section there. We'll go through it and we'll reply. Absolutely. And also like, share, and subscribe. So as loving South Africans of our beautiful country, Tyler won a Grammy, the Booker of the World Champions, breaking strides, UFC, killing it.
That's a conversation for another.
Right? And then we've got the Bafana semi-finals. Hey, but that one was stressful, wasn't it? Yo. I mean, what a time to be alive, right? And now we're about to go and choose the next 10 years, which is the elections.
Let's not forget about the South African sheep shearing team that has also won the world champs in sheep shearing, beating out New Zealand in the finals. Everywhere. Yeah, sheep shearing.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, right? We can be pretty good at that. So, guys, I just want you to let me know. No, we're just taking it back to some of the topics that we were dealing with. The ICJ, the International Criminal Court, Criminal Justice. What do you guys think in terms of its integrity at this current state, with Israel boldly saying they are unmoved and they will continue regardless of the actual outcome after South Africa took the bold move of taking them to court? What do you think that implies with them completely and utterly ignoring the verdict? What do you go? Give me
nowadays you must be so careful to say or state an opinion.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit cancel culture is groot weer. So one doesn't want to at any point want people to call an anti-Semite, especially when you know you're not an anti-Semite. You get what I'm saying? But I mean, just from a pure humanitarian aspect, they should have declared a ceasefire. How long are we going to watch pregnant mothers walking for kilometers because there's no transport, losing their babies on the way? There are 50,000 pregnant women in Palestine. I heard or a clip, I watched a clip of some people say, these people are multiplying, their droves, blah, blah, blah. No, they are actually not multiplying their droves. They are just exercising their right to have families, be it in a prison, be it in an open-air prison. And if anything, I have to tell you, if there's one person I want to clap, it's that Ugandan judge. Must have been paid, must have been bought.
Wow. How
do you go to the ICJ and then you stab the entire African continent in the back? I still don't get it. It had to be a paid gig. If one also looks at the situation with our own minister, our DERCO minister, Naledi Pandor, one of my favorite politicians of all time, because she's always spoken the truth as far as I'm concerned, from what I can see. Having her family threatened.
Yes, I saw that.
So we know we have a case. There is a very strong case. It is just very sad for me that the ICJ did not go as far as declaring a ceasefire. With that saying, it's not as if the Zionist state of Israel would have stopped the war. Even from, this is what it looks like now, it appears to be, even if the ICJ said ceasefire now, I don't think the Zionist state would have listened, because they are clearly not listening. And yes, it's that same idea. Let's look at the ANC was a terrorist organization. Any people that are occupied on their journey and in their process at some point are going to pick up arms. That is just, that's also
nature.
That's just nature. I was about to say that is just human nature. So stop this lie, this blatant lie, of calling even Hamas a terrorist organization, because the ANC
was a terrorist.
Yes, the party that helped us, to liberate us, was also an international terrorist organization. And I think that as people, as South Africans, as just as citizens of the world, I'm just going to say it again, there's a new consciousness developing. I go to bed thinking, believing that I'm liking that there's a split, there has to be a split.
Yeah.
You've got to make, whose side are you on?
Yeah.
Who are you actually? Ask yourself that question. Who am I? Politically. Doesn't mean you have to even align yourself with the party. But in terms of the killings, the wars, it's never ending. And it's the same people that push a lot, that weapons. I'm tired of the Americans. I'm tired of the US. I'm tired of the UK. Europe. I'm not saying I'm anti-American.
No.
You get what I'm saying?
You're just tired.
But the politics that is being practiced it just has never worked for the disenfranchised, and it has to stop. I am disappointed with the ICJ ruling, but then again, I'm not an attorney. I don't know the intricacies, complexities of what such a case actually does hold. So but yeah, I am disappointed.
So that was quite insightful, and I appreciate to hear.
And it's important just to note that we are not anti-Semitic.
Yeah, exactly, because
it's very important.
And then also we shouldn't
especially
be
us in the South African our entertainment industry. We work very diverse. It's a diversified arts landscape in our country.
Right. Yeah.
But let's just.
So tell me, talk to Joel. So then I'll ask you this: do you think the ICJ's integrity has been compromised?
It's a very loaded question, Matt.
Absolutely.
What I can say is that
I never turn it around.
Look, any judicial system in itself opens itself up to being challenged on its rulings, on how those rulings are enforced, and also the consequence of whether you follow or don't follow the rulings. Any judiciary in the world, unfortunately, that aspect does exist. So even if we look at rulings that were made locally, the South African judiciary, and where somebody was ordered to do something by the court and then didn't do it according to the court, what happened then, and how was that blatant disregard of the court then, dare I use the word, punished? So I think even in this case, maybe this is one of those instances in which the ICJ is being challenged on its ruling by the people which that ruling was against, and it's now for us to see what's going to happen. So I think us as a public need to let the string play out. And I'm saying it in this way because irrespective of what my personal beliefs are, any of our personal beliefs are, the law itself is an unbiased thing. And
well, supposedly.
Hopefully.
I'm not going to, in this sense, I'm not going to do the wordplay.
Yes.
The law is an unbiased thing. The law is there for the purpose that it's intended, and it would be up to us then to interpret the law differently. That's why you've always got two opposing sides of the law.
Yes.
You've got somebody that's for and somebody that's against, and somebody argues for and somebody argues against. Even in a criminal case, we are arguing for punishment for this particular action that you took, and we feel that you should be punished, and somebody's going to defend and say, listen, this is what we feel should be the outcome of this trial because of these factors. And even at the end of a court case, there's always where somebody in their closing arguments can then make statements in mitigation of, and then and then there's the opposite end of that, which was now speaking. I think it's in, forget the legal terminology, but I think it could be. What is it? Okay, but somebody needs to say, okay, this was the ruling that was made. Yeah. Now mitigating factors so that you can be lenient, and then this other one says no, but we need to give these factors so that the court can actually be more stringent. And so, would I say that the ICJ's integrity per se has been compromised? I wouldn't say yes. I would say no, it hasn't been, because now it is up to the ICJ and that entire judicial system or that judicial environment to prove why, or to show why it actually came to that decision, and what happens if somebody does not listen to that. So let's play that string out.
Right. That was very diplomatic.
My personal level, but now on a personal level, I do agree. I think 110% with what Abdul just said, in terms of we are not being anti-Semitic, we're not being anti-anybody, but we are getting tired of the treatment of certain people and the special treatment of others. And what we're all just calling for is just a fairness. We're not asking for a lot. We're not asking you to cut off your arm to show me that you are
in fact, even keep your money because you've got bricks. All your money.
It's just basic human decency. That's all. What's so difficult in that? Just human decency and allow us to live unoccupied, unoppressed. Let us not be living under your thumb because you want that modicum of control over another group of people. That's inhumane. And calling people terrorists, one person's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter.
Absolutely.
You know that statement. I've heard that as a kid so many times. And that was said about our now current ruling party. They said one person's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. And where did they hear that from? Or where did they emulate that statement from? It came from people like Che Guevara. It came from other freedom fighters that had previously existed in order to free and oppress people.
But don't you think that the way that the media has managed to spin narratives and use or redefine definitions and words, so that even when you say, well, look, and someone's freedom fighter is someone else's terrorist, that we don't even have the freedom to speak and say it like that, even without somebody going there and saying, oh, you're a Jew hater, we suffered in the Holocaust, how dare you say the Hamas is not terrorists. Do you see what I'm saying? So it becomes very, very like, ooh, because like as you know that I just came back from LA. It was so weird. I was at the Gary Marshall Theatre the one time, and then I was just speaking, and I made a little joke, and this is how interesting it was, and I just said like, just how is it because I'm black? The way they reacted, like, and the faces, the demeanor, it was we don't do that here. We don't do that here. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, Comedy Central mind. All of a sudden, I had to like, oh, where am I? What did I do wrong here? I am black. I'm black. Did I say black? Sorry. It was a joke. It's so touchy. And funny enough, when I watch the television, no mention of any of this stuff we're talking about. But you don't see, you don't even see the Israeli flag, or you don't even see the Palestinian flag. It's just so neutral to what they are doing and whatever their day-to-day is, their celebrities and whatnot. And I just found it very,
the most interesting thing for me always is how especially the US, how they exported their entertainment, you know. And we actually know way more about American society
than they do.
The average American knows about, I don't know, maybe the capital of Texas. I'm serious. Or am I generalizing? That's what Naf was saying at the Hollywood cinema. He was saying straight, like, you have no idea how we've been conditioned as Africans about how America was sold to us. And they bombarded our generations with America. And now that I'm here, and he goes, now that I'm here, I'm disappointed. He was kind of funny. I love that, man.
But you were saying.
No, look, I mean, it's to mirror that comment. Someone in LA is so oblivious to what's happening in Ohio.
Yeah.
You ask them what is Ohio known for. They're gonna say, we don't know. So ask them what is Idaho known for. Potatoes.
Potatoes.
So if they don't know what's happening in their
We're
own
not
country,
anybody.
No,
this
not.
show, yeah.
No, look, I mean, I'm just making the statement as it is. This is my personal opinion. And if you don't know what's happening in your own neighborhood, how can you proclaim to know or to even understand what's happening in the next city or in the next province or in the next country? So I do not take offense to Americans. It's basically it's an unintended ignorance of what's happening around the world. However, lending to your statement where you mentioned that the media is their only form of consuming knowledge of what's happening outside there. And you are what you eat, you are what you read, you are what you see.
That's true.
They can only speak from what they've been fed through the media, that we are right and Hamas is wrong. So you can't blame the everyday American on the street. Once again, all of these things come back to how we politicize.
And I guess how we are socialized. I mean, the apartheid system was exactly the same. It was greatly engineered. And yes, it made those inroads exactly what the apartheid regime wanted. They got. Look at how long we were at one another's throats. You were black enough, just colored, Indian. Oh, but the Indians were a little bit better off. I mean, even just that is how we were indoctrinated,
Even coming back to this is making me laugh when I remember your earlier statement about the Western Cape being sold to the Americans. And I have to think about what's happening right now in the city of Cape Town. Put up a Palestinian flag on the wall. And you'll have metal cops at your door painting over it.
What?
Yeah, it's happened a couple
of times. You were in LA.
Oh, you're in
LA. So people put up murals. Obviously, I don't know if the one in the book up's still there.
It's still there, thankfully.
But they did go to some other areas. I think.
And they just paint over it.
Paint over it. Metro cops.
So Cape Town was sold.
Oh, absolutely. It has to have been sold. Also, my question to the DA is that you obviously are very, very confident that your DA supporters are just going to grow within what you are now perpetuating, which is basically, I feel that they bringing Zionism to our door. You cannot.
Which I don't understand how the colored people can be
a mural. I mean, that is.
Are you talking about the same DA that was in support of the Palestinian soccer team that just played over the weekend?
That's also true, no?
Well, sorry,
I was so bad on the DA.
I'm not privy to this. What happened?
I'm so sorry.
The Palestinian soccer team.
Yeah, what happened?
That year that the DA went to welcome at the airport with open arms and say, we are so glad to have Palestine in the country.
But aren't they the ones?
Oh,
no.
We don't know?
We don't know.
Okay.
I must tell the DA that in Muslim circles, but I have to tell the DA this, that in South African Muslim circles, they have lost probably 90% of their support.
This is what I was going to ask you.
Hopefully they have another 90 of those mozzies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would they?
Let's not even talk about the book up and then not wanting the call to prayer. I'm not saying the DA government, but the complaints that come from people that are not even born on these shores, and then and then it gets enforced. Their support is dwindling. Obviously, there are people that are totally anti-ANC, anti-EFF, or any other minority parties. They are set and will always be DA. Good for you. I just want to say to the DA, you have lost major support. Stop underestimating, especially the Muslim vote, the colored vote. You think that so-called coloreds are just going to keep on running back to the DA. Stop it. They have to stop it.
They've already lost.
And the same with the ANC. The ANC themselves, I feel, have also been a part and parcel of marginalizing so-called colored communities, especially in the rural areas. Yeah. I have done work in the rural areas, Even the ANC. And this is what also the ANC. In fact, let me quote Jesse Duarte, ex-ANC Secretary General, who years ago was very upset at an ANC WhatsApp group where colored comrades were referred to by very derogatory terms. And then she took on that particular platform and said, what is this? Where is the ANC? Where are we on our way to? Do you get what I'm saying? So yes, that colored, so-called colored / Cape Malay, whatever votes, julle moet oppas.
Yep.
Because you know what, in the end you're all going to be colored. Who are you going to vote for then?
50 years.
Who are you going to vote for then?
And don't forget, guys, besides your comments, disclaimer, this is a discussion and these views are all of our own opinions. Absolutely. And we just like to open the platform to actually chat. So tell us your views and let us know what's going on in South Africa, because we actually do care, and that's why we're having these platforms. But on that point that you just said now, that was like pa. Do you think that if they play with they gamble and DA is catching on this nonsense, especially with the affiliations
going to town with the Muslim votes?
So then, but do you think
was it Al Quds Foundation here in Gatesville?
Yes.
Making a speech. The ANC is actually at this moment in time really going. They can see at the grassroots level where this thing may lead. It may get them.
Do you think they could ever get?
It may get them votes. I don't think they can win the province.
So so you do believe in always say yeah. Do you believe? Okay.
But if more people are starting to believe that the DA has sold the Western Cape to the US, then the DA's then their days are probably numbered within a decade. Or
so Thomas this Ruiters
fucking analyst. These are my own opinions.
So on this particular topic, I just want to gear it down, because I feel like there's something for me that I've just realized. Does that mean if the colored vote says and the Muslim vote says there's going to be just floating votes?
I think so.
Because if they're not going to vote for EFF or ANC and then they've just said, you don't represent me no more, DA, that's how many million votes just chilling?
Yeah.
Is it so?
That begs the question: are those votes just going to be chilling without anyone going to the voting station?
That's what I want to know. What do you think? What do you think before we wrap this up? What? That's crazy.
But you were right. Was it Joel that said earlier that this is going to be our 1994, and I totally agree with that.
There's going to be floaters.
You know what? It can actually only be 1994 if people actually go out and vote. And why not? If you want to vote for the DA, go vote for the DA, go vote for the ANC, go vote for the ANC.
Something.
Let's do it, man.
The number is 350, guys.
Hey?
350 is the number. That's how many parties are registered with the
I give up.
So those millions of votes will go somewhere.
They will.
But where are they going? Remember that if you can think, let's think percentages, right? I don't have the actual numbers in front of me. It would have been.
Yeah.
I should have done, more to bring the numbers to the table.
No.
However,
we're going to continue this conversation.
Yes. If you look at coming from 1994, what percentages which party got where, and you look at, I'm sure that the ANC, and I speak under correction, we'll hear in the comment section whether I'm right or wrong, was probably high 70s, 80% in terms of the vote.
Yeah, they were, the first election, the ANC weren't they on 67 point something?
I think
the national,
they could have been higher.
Yes,
they could have been higher.
Possibly.
Now, if we look at what the DA has been ever since the turnaround from when they took back power from the ANC was running the Western Cape at some point.
They were.
Yeah.
And when the DA took back power, what percentage they were on.
Yeah.
But those percentages have been dwindling. And if we look at what this election is going to reveal, is most likely that in the Western Cape, would the DA be more than 50% now? It doesn't seem likely.
It's a good question.
And nationally and in the different provinces, would the ANC be more than 52, 53%?
No.
It doesn't seem likely.
Doesn't seem likely.
So those votes are gonna go somewhere, because in that percentage of votes that they have lost, people are trying to find new homes. That's just it. And they're going to find those new homes, and whoever speaks to them and resonates with them the
Yeah.
loudest.
But some people have also just become like apathetic. They're just going, I've had enough. Nothing changes. When I'm going to vote in whichever party, it's not going to change. And you also can't blame people. And we are talking about people that I'm talking about your average citizen who still lives in abject poverty.
Correct.
Do you know what I mean? People are also getting so tired of politicians. But
Oh, it's like a
I'm
phase.
so happy I'm not a politician right
Well, we might decide to
Because-
jump into the fray. We might jump into the fray. Why not?
I'm so
If
sorry.
they can, why can't we, right?
Because you have to be accountable and you have to take responsibility, you know.
So that
Oh.
being said, guys, viewers at home, just give us your thoughts on the comment section. Like, subscribe, share, follow us obviously on WIGO on the YouTube channel, and you can get us on our other socials. You can get me on Bex_official, and you can get him at what's yours? Your Instagram.
Oh, that's a good question.
I don't do social media.
Okay, well, guys, so yes, I'm the only one that's out there. Fine, but as you know, we can talk on for as much. But join us in the next episode because we'll be unpacking a little bit more as we get closer to the inevitable, which is the elections. Let us know if. Hey, I've got a question for you guys. Would you ever start a political party, and what would you call it?
Yeah,
Write what
that's
you
a good
think
one.
at the bottom in the comment section, and if you and the best name will get my votes. Okay. But thank you so much, guys, for joining us here at What's Going On South Africa. Joined by my esteemed guest and my main man over here, Terry.
Peace.
Join us next
Peace.
time, and thank you very much. And we are out. Peace.